It's windy out there. It's a nice day out though. Blue sky. Always make sure that your camera is in video record mode, not standby. If it's a red dot and it's counting down, you know it's recording. If it's pause or in standby, then you know you didn't get it recorded. Okay? And make sure it's an SD card or an eternal memory, because those disc kind, sometimes they get where it says record. When you play back, you didn't get it all, or you didn't get it at all. Anyway. Alright. Goes into the loop. Watch. All together. Watch, because this is cool. Then Copper said, you want to see it again? Got out 100, relating to the $100 bill of Eric's, and changed it back, changed it to a $1 bill, and Eric said it was my bill. And then Copper says, okay, I'll do it again. I'm going to do this very slowly. So if I did this in reverse all day, I wouldn't have to do shows. Anyway. He goes into a loop. And then they pick the dramatic music. And ta-da, the audience claps. He did it. This is what my idea is, that nobody has done to my knowledge. I think there's one person that did, but I looked at all the books and all that stuff, and they don't have the way I figured it. I pinch it here, and I hold on to it so that it slides off and it's holding in the middle. Holding into the middle, and then I go underneath, then I let go of the middle. It zips around. And in 2 weeks I was able to get real smooth at it. I just memorized Copperfield's move. You could send $8 or $9 to learn Copperfield's version, but I never did do it. I just figured it out on the VCR tape. Mitch Leary said, Bill, we do it the hard way. We buy books and videos. And I said, well, I sometimes do that too, but sometimes Jesus helped me to find out ways to do it and figure it out, so I don't have to cut corners, so I don't have to buy a book or a video. He helps me to figure it out, and if I have the same props, I can do it too. And then he watched me solve the Rubik's Cube, and he goes, Bill, you can solve the Rubik's Cube? Do you realize what you're doing? You're doing lentograms, and you say you can't tie your own shoes? That's why my parents gave up and got Velcro shoes and clip-on ties. Goes into the loop. See, go like this. My nephew William figured this version, where you do a one-handed version. And then I practiced it, and then later on, Copperfield shows how to do it on the AL America Online YouTube information. And I think he did it on the Disney one too, where he was teaching with the Silly Bands idea. It's also called something else too, but he had Mickey and Donald idea. After he did this, and then he put them in his hand, and one turned in the shape of Donald, one is Mickey. He said, that's a little magic for you guys, for Disney. Anyway, in the background there's people going back and forth, and there's the Tower of Terror. Anyway, they made a movie of that Tower of Terror. So you pull down, and you put your fingers in, that's the secret part. You lift up. See, you pull down and lift up. my nephew William and David Copperfield even shows how to do it. Stick your thumb all the way over here secretly, and do the same thing with the other hand, and ta-da! And from the audience point of view, well, gotta get it right. And then here's the added idea that Copperfield adds to this to lock it in. And the guy says, do it again. So Copperfield does it again. And he said, that's simply amazing. Here's another way. You grab it right here, and boom, right off the thumb. This is hard to memorize, but you gotta take the first finger, forefinger rather, and you pull back to make like a triangle, like the TR3B, CIA TR3B flying triangle, USAF top secret flying triangle, ion warp drive, Mercury engines, plasma drill, plasma engines. It makes a slip knot and comes right off. And then here's another thing. I taught this to Jacob Bassinet. He caught on real quick. Right after church, he showed me he could do it. He showed this different color, and actually this is this color and this is this color. I said, very good. You learn quick. Yeah. I'm sure Jeremiah Bassinet, Jeremiah at Reason knows how to do stuff too. All the teens at our church, and my nieces and nephews, and everybody on planet Earth, and NASA International Space Stations, even those in stealthy space stations, as KTM motocross biker, losing magician, church member since 1980s on up, friend at Good News Baptist Church, goodnewsbaptist.org. Org stands for organization, likes to say. Anyway, what you do is you take this one and put over top of that one, and you put everything in the middle circle secretly, and then you just say, see, this is blue and this is yellow, whatever colors, two colors you have. You say, this is blue and this is yellow. No, actually, this is yellow, this is blue. It's like, huh? Yeah. I like Copperfield on the Learjet. On that little thing when he was doing the Alcatraz theme at Christ Hall. I was reading it with the binoculars, even though it was front row. I wanted to read all the Statue of Liberty and Learjet. It says, "Not responsible luggage." I like that line. 70 people form a circle around the Learjet, and then it vanishes. And then it has a little caption, "Not responsible for luggage." That's cute. And for the imploding building, like I said, Christopher Hart doubled it for Copperfield's illusion switcheroos, including the imploding building. Copperfield's done reappeared on the steel platform, but behind the scenes, a minute before the building explodes, the cameraman for the special, for the news, for the exploding, ignite, and the explosive people detonate, and then they blow the building down. And before they did, they talked to people, and even kids and everything. And there was a news helicopter, and I kept thinking, they're seeing the whole thing. They know exactly what happened. And sure enough, there's a news guy, a YouTube channel many years later, um, after that the explosive counter aired and we got YouTube now, they uploaded it, and just like someone uploaded the Chris Angel escape from a building, then they showed how to do it. But what they think is Copperfield. A minute before the building explodes, you see Copperfield get into a white side open van. He dives right in. He's got a black outfit. He goes in, and then they drive off. Okay, he's out of there. All right. Then they detonate it, and then a few minutes later, he reappears on a steel platform out of nowhere. Then you hear one of the crew guys, worker guys for the building company, says, "Great trick. We didn't see anything." And it says, well, it's going to be on one of the coming CBS special. And that was an explosion and all that stuff the news people said. Anyway, what was it? Trying to think. If you look on YouTube, Charlotte Hotel, you see a picture of a lady in the thumbnail. Click on it, and you see her with her son, and you see other people being interviewed, and about the hotel and the brick, and then read the comments and all that, because people would say that they got sick from it and all that. It's kind of like the 9/11 when the Twin Towers fell. People started getting sick, including the firemen. But Building 7 exploded, but no, there was no plane that hit it. It's like an invisible plane hit it. But anyway, it's a mystery. And there's a video. I think it's a lady that is talking, and the Building 7 is right behind her in a window. And they said, "What's that? Building 7 just fell down?" And it hasn't fell down yet when she's saying that. Someone's relaying the message through her earphone. And then no sooner did she say that, Building 7 starts collapsing. There's something funny about all this. There's a mystery afoot. Whatever it is, I don't know. It's something that it ain't right. And when they talked to Donald Trump before he was president, they found him out in the street when all this was going on. They said, "What do you think of all this?" And he said, and keep in mind, this is before he was president, but he ended up being president later on. But he said, "I think it's an inside job." Anyway. As God says, that everything's going to be revealed in heaven, good and bad. Rusty Dillard said it would be like watching a TV set or a movie of your life from a kid on up, from a baby on up, of who you hanged out with, what you did, all the way up to an adult. Well, you get the gist of it. But if you're saved, you have nothing to worry about. It's the ones that are not saved that be cast in a lake of fire, along with the devil and the fallen angels. God gave you many times to get saved. He gave you a free will. He doesn't make robots. Even Jonah, he could have not did what God said, but he went through torture, but he ended up doing what he winning people to the Lord. People you wouldn't think would get saved, and they got saved. And those people did get saved when Jonah preached the Word of God. Even though Jonah wasn't very happy about it, but God used him for his glory. Like Saul to Paul. Anyway, you get the gist of the whole thing. See, this is a DVD video. A CD, I think, is about the same size, I think. That'd be audio. But DVD means digital video disc. CD means, I forgot what CD is. The D stand, CD, CD, DVD, CD. D stands for disc, I know that. Oh, compact disc. Compact disc, digital compact disc, video, audio. But this is digital video, so DVD-R or DVD-R rewrite or DVD-R RAM and all that. And anyway, then there's Blu-ray too. Next, I think the laser itself will be the recorder. You never know. Project Bluebeam. Holograms, realistic holograms. You reach out and touch. It feels like a real building or an airplane because the hologram is made to feel like you could reach out and touch it. What? Vinnie Barbarino.
What?
Welcome back, Carter. What? Where? When? How?
I don't got nothing to do. My eyes are dilated. I know. I can't do nothing. No. Dehumidifier.
The audience was on a gigantic lazy Susan turntable, a record player. We don't got a record player, but or a record right now, but we got this a DVD disc to represent like a record player, like a turntable. If you go to Walmart, when they put, well, actually they did away with the turntables. I forgot about that.
Bobby and Billy?
Huh? What?
Where's Bill? Where's Bobby?
That way?
Oh, today's both trash cans just went
Okay.
out.
Both trash cans
It
out?
doesn't have to be now, it can be later
No, I
today.
think I must even quick.
Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Something about turntables. Anyway, the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty wasn't on the turntable. It was not connected to the turntable, but the audience was moved slowly to the right, from our TV right. The helicopter pilot would be his left, but it would be our right. Anyway, if you look at the sundial effect, you can see the stage lighting where it's doing like a sundial, and you can see about the location of where it's turned exactly at to a duplicate ring of lights minus the statue, and a fog machine and searchlights and strobe lights are aimed over that way now. And the helicopter moved at the same time to act so you wouldn't think nothing moved, but it did move because the helicopter moved with the turntable. And the audience was on the turntable, so was Copperfield, and they put a bush there that so you wouldn't notice camera movement. The Trickbusters said about the bush, and they mentioned about the sheet didn't go all the way down because it's hiding reference points. But I noticed about the radar blip thing that it was time to go off 3 times, and it was sounding like a sundial effect. And the General Electric lights were aimed in the audience to night blind the audience for a few minutes, using black art principle. Dead black against that black is absent of shadow. Anything bright colors stand out. Anything dark will be invisible. Because now they turned off the Statue of Liberty. The lights around the ring of light on the statue and a ring of lights around it, so it's pitch dark. And I'm beginning. I think that in the crown they put a purple light in there, because when Mr. Duncan took a picture off the TV, it looks like purple lights in the crown.
Here's a record player. It's going crazy.
A record player going crazy. Oh no. And I'm talking about a record player for the Statue of Liberty turntable, and you're talking about a record player slice dicing a human being to bits. Man, you and Banshee watch all these grim movies and Sasquatch that kill people and eat flesh, and Dracula movie, Dark Shadows, a soap opera, and but you can't take MASH? That's simple. That don't make no sense. You can't. He said, because that's a real operating and that's real life. Yeah, but they're actors playing a part. Oh well. And it doesn't matter the Banshee though. Tommy, he's backwards. Anyway, and the girls were there to have enough light for the shutter at 100 yards to not show a now darkened statue when they were taking pictures of the Kodak Polaroid camera, to show the girls there and then with the statue, and then not as he flipped the thing to show it, and to show the helicopter all around. And I talked to Troy Summers, church member. He's a good photographer. He did one of our church's photo directory. He's real good, and he works, I think, in the Navy, and he takes good pictures there too. Anyway, he said, "Yep, that's correct. At 100 yards, 50-cent flashball wouldn't now see a darkened statue. Yep, that's correct." And that's in the book William Poundstone, Bigger Secrets. You got big secrets, bigger secrets. And I figured they'd have a bigger secret. I said, "Yep." So I ordered all three. And it talks about a lot of things, but also I like it because it has Doug Henning illusions, Houdini illusions, David Copper illusions, Siegfried and Roy illusions, and good drawing plans in there too. So get all the books, bigger secrets if they're still around. There's a lot of information in there. And the Statue of Liberty turntable is accurate because everybody talks about the turntable. I used to think, I didn't know about the turntable, so I just thought just had a black sheet screen over top of it and dropped the white sheet down, and everything else that had the bright lights and all that stuff, the night blind audience. That would work. Even Herbert Becker said that's one way you could make it work, but he used a turntable. And he reversed the process to bring everything back. And there's a YouTube video where it shows a news clipping of, I think it's the day that he did the Statue of Liberty, and they aired it out. They put it out there. The Statue of Liberty's lights got turned out, but they said that the reason why the lights are out due to an electrical problem or something. The lights out, and it was pitch dark. But in reality, that's just a misdirection for Copperwood's crew to turn the lights off, put purple lights in the crown, to have black art lighting technology dead back against dead back as after the shadow. I talked to a military guy, and they said, well, if we had night vision goggles on, we would see the whole trick. I said, yeah, you're right. Night vision turns night into day. Yeah, you would have seen it exactly how it was done. And there's a church lady in our church a long time ago. She's in heaven now, but she said, Bill, I was there when I saw it. You couldn't see the statue, but I could see the feet. I could see the bottom of the feet. So they used a lot of stuff, not just a turntable, to make it vanish. They did a real good job of that. And Copperwood said something that nobody's noticed. And now when he mentions it, I look too. He says, nobody noticed the guy walking around the ring of lights. He's just walking around, da-da-da-da-da-da. And someone said, we didn't have toy drones flying all around. There wasn't supposed to be a second helicopter because it went down cracked windshield due to the wind factor. So there was only one helicopter, and this was one take. But but the thing is, you see the helicopter down below, but who's filming up above? I don't know. It's very interesting. Even Chuck Winley of Magic and More says, Copperfield Statue of Liberty disappeared. He used the Batmobile turntable. Anyway, you know when the Batmobile's on the turntable, it turns so it can go out the Batcave. It goes and then takes off the turbines. Now, if you get the Green Hornet, the regular car changed to the Black Beauty. It flips over. And I've seen a car commercial where they do that. And then a Santa Claus, I think the car turns to a sleigh, or it could be the sleigh turns into a car and he flies off in the car. I can't remember, but it's a Santa Claus commercial. And then I've seen a educational channel where they made a model of a house flipping like that. And then I watched Scooby-Doo meet Batman and Robin, got to fight the Joker and the Penguin and all that. The tree, the house flips over and now it's a tree. Then you turn the handle of the on the tree trunk. It's got a hinge on it, and then it flips over to the house. And then they said, someone, Velma, the woman with the glasses, no, or is that Daphne? No, probably Velma, says, someone's totally unbalanced. And I said, wow, everything's tied down. The stove, the lamp, and everything. Oh, someone's totally unbalanced. And then, we better get out, for we're locked in. And, hey, Scoob, they don't know about this hinge and all that stuff. They get a little scared a little bit because a bunny rabbit pops up and Scooby pulls it. Wow, a hinge. What Mother Nature goofed on this one? Yeah, that's a little comedy because it wasn't Mother Nature. A human made a lever to look like a tree trunk. Anyway, so when you pull the lever, it would make the house flip over to be a tree. And then there's a lever that Batman and Robin said, this stops the rotation. They pull the lever, and then all of a sudden the house flips over now, the tree flips over now as a house. And then you could do it vice versa. Well, you get the idea. I was thinking that'd be an idea for Copperfield's Learjet Vanish. Or you could have the platform, another platform over top of it, and then a helicopter could take it in whisper mode up in the air, and they have a roller shade mirror or stage trim and they come down and then just fly off with it. Because there is helicopters that can take even a whole house up in the air. So, and jeeps and all kind of tanks, so you can, army tanks. So I can imagine a jet being hauled away, a Learjet. Comfort says they always say 747, but it wasn't that big, but that's okay if people think I made a huge 747 jumbo jet vanish. But it was really a small jet. It was a 747. And Bob Scofield always, when we're backing out of the church driveway, he says, look in the back. Is there any 747s back there? No, there's no jet back there. No Copperfield hauling the jet out the back. But on the autobiography of Copperfield, David Copperfield, Don Wayne Illusionbuilder said, the way we moved things, our calculation was off. During rehearsal, when the statue's arm was still showing, so Copperfield put some more bed sheeting up. That's why the colors don't quite match up. And the way we move things means turntable. And the helicopter guy, Pan Am Helicopter, said they used a turntable, and they were working on silent ball bearings. And what was it? I can't think. The park ranger made a model of the turntable for the Statue of Liberty. And Ed Alonzo said before they brought it to New York, they practiced out in the desert by making the moon disappear.
Who are you talking to, Billy?
On the video camera.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.